Shalom. First and foremost, before I get started with this lesson, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth and rule well. Peace and blessings unto the hopeful elect, pushing his word throughout the four corners of the earth in truth, righteousness, and sincerity. To you I say Shalom. The title of this lesson will be War, an End Time Event. All right. And as we know, according to Matthew 24, as I have pulled up right here, um, war will be an event that will take place, or one of the many signs, right, that our Lord Yahweh Shai gave us that will be an indicator of his return, right? The end of the heathen's rule, right? And before I continue on, I want to get this real quick. See if this comes up. Salakia, bear with me. Right here. Luke 21 and 24 says, "And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations." Talking about, uh, the Israelites, right? It says, "And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles, into the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled." So this is talking about Jerusalem as a people, but also Jerusalem, uh, the land of Jerusalem, right? The land of Israel. You know, the heathen will be inhabiting that land, and they'll be trodden down by these heathen. But it says, but the main point I'm trying to get here is until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled. So the Gentiles have a certain time period that the Most High gave them to rule, right? And we're living in it today. Esau is a Gentile, and he has been given dominion over the earth for this time being. But also, these other nations as well, under Esau, they were given the ability to rule for this time being. But let's see. Let's go back to Matthew 24 and 23. It says, I'm going to start at verse 3. It says, "And he sat upon the Mount of Olives. The disciples came to him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world?" Right. So here the apostles asked Yahweh Shah, to tell them the signs, tell them when uh, uh, his return will be, right? When the end of the world, not the world uh, talking about the earth, but the end of these heathens' rule, right? But it says, "And Yahweh Shah answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Hamashiach, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars," see, wars, "and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all things must come to pass, but the end is not yet," right? Because we had many wars. World War One, World War Two, the Civil War. I mean, there's wars going on all the time, right? And you had the Iraqi war. You had the war over there in Afghanistan. You had this war going on right now with Russia and Ukraine, right? But what's the thing? It says, uh, "See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet." So the end of the world ain't here yet. Even now, they're talking about World War III is already starting. Even if it is already starting, the end is not yet. But this is a sign showing you that this is the end, right? Which hopefully this will actually kick off World War III, because prophecy is lining up. The scriptures tell you that the least of them shall draw them out. The least of them, talking about these Amalekites, they're going to draw all these nations out into this World War III, right? So let me continue on a little bit more. Matthew 24, Salakia. Matthew 24 and verse 7, it says, "For nation shall rise against nations, or nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows." Right? So this is just the beginning, right? Um, that was pretty much it. Let's get Revelation 11 and verse 14. It says, "The second woe was Salakia. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly." Right? So the Second World War is already gone. And now we're fastly approaching this World War III, right? The war to end all wars. Because when you continue reading, it says, "And the seventh angel sounded, and there was a great voice there were great voices in heaven, saying, The kingdom of this world are become the kingdom of our Lord and of his Hamashiach, and he shall reign forever and ever." Right? So after that third world war, that's gonna be it, right? Yahweh Shah is gonna come. He's gonna descend in that cloud, right? That UFO, so-called UFO, his chariot, with that massive chariot, right? I should say, and his many hosts of angels, and they're gonna take the earth. Simple as that. They're gonna take the earth and they're gonna destroy these other nations, meaning their military, mostly, really, right? But the place that's gonna be destroyed is America. Babylon the Great that the Bible speaks of. This place is gonna be destroyed. But this is showing you that we're in the end times. We're in the end times. Wars is being spoken of, and various things, pestilences, plagues, famines, all these things is being talked about to the point where you have Esau, and their media talking about, are we living in biblical times, right? So even Esau can see it. So the problem is, what's wrong with you, Jakes, that can't see this, that can't see that this is the end? This is evident. You hear more and more talks about the MOTB, right, and how it can be implemented, ways that it can be used. You know, back then, people used to call that a sea theory, but now, hey, it's becoming it's evident that this is exactly what they're going to use, and this is what the scriptures talk about as the MOTB, right? The mark of the you know what, right? But coming back to this, let's get Joel Salakia. Joel chapter 3 and verse 9. We're going to start at verse 9. It says, Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Right? And that's exactly what the Most High is starting to stir up. Right? He's stirring up the nations to come into this battle of Amagadwan. Right? This is the war to end our wars, like I said, because right after this war, there's going to be no more wars. You know, there's going to be no more. Yahweh Shai is going to establish his dominion on the earth. All right. It says, verse 10, Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Yahweh. Right? So the Most High is assembling all these nations. He's making all these nations come together, right, to war. You're hearing of Russia and China and what other countries? Iran, right? All these countries are assembling themselves to come and attack who? America. Well, first and foremost, they're having issues with those gutter rats over there in the land of Israel, right? So they're going to fight against them, which in turn is going to cause the United States to come into that fight. And then in turn, they're going to try to get the rest of the UN nations to come into fight. But as the scriptures tell you that these, in Obadiah, right? Let me get it real quick, because we're going to start seeing these other nations, or these nations that were once in alliance with America turn against it. Where's it at? Right here. Obadiah 1 and verse 7, it says, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. Confederacy, what does that mean? Let's get it real quick. Because that's talking about all these, well, a lot of these UN nations, maybe all of them, right? Maybe all of them might turn their backs to America and end up shooting missiles, nuclear missiles, you know, over here in America and Israel, right? But it says covenant, alliance, pledge between men, treaty, alliance, league, constitution, ordinance, agreement, pledge, alliance of friendship, alliance of marriage. But yeah, that's pretty much it, right? They have an alliance together. The UN is that alliance, right, that they made. That's why they always have those summits, because they all come together and they have an agreement, and even they have memberships, right? Like just recently, you had Ukraine be accepted into that UN membership, right? Which now the UN has an excuse, or they can use that as a to justify sending troops to Ukraine and join in the fight against Russia, right? Let's see. Let's continue on. Let's go back to Joel. Salakia. Joel chapter 3 and verse. I'm gonna read 10 again. It says, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Right. So it says, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Meaning they're going to start investing more money in weaponry, raising up their budget, their military budget, right? And that's what we're seeing. We're seeing America raising up the military budget, China doing the same thing, Russia doing the same thing. All these countries are investing more money on building weapons, all right? Because they understand that we're going into a war. Now there's talks of Russia um, calling for a draft, right? So we're going to see more about that. And America eventually is going to call in a draft. Because, first of all, right now, America is stretched already far too thin financially. And then soon we're going to start seeing being stretched. Well, even now, with the military, they're stretched thin. Because they have bases all across the world, right? Some crazy number. More than any nation, just showing you who is the hammer of the earth, right? But the same way that America, the same way Slovakia, the same way Rome, back in the ancient times, they were spread thin. The same way America is being spread thin, right? Just showing you the comparison that this is Rome 2.0. America is Rome 2.0, right? America's Babylon, the great that the Bible speaks of, the last kingdom on earth, the last heathen kingdom on earth, I should say, Salakia. Because the last and only kingdom that's going to endure forever is going to be the kingdom of Yahweh Shah, Yahweh Wa Yahweh Shah, right? But continuing on, let's see, Joel 3 and verse 11. Oh, Salakia, let me read the latter part again of verse 10. It says, let the weak say, I am strong, right? Because now you're seeing a lot of these nations, a lot of these smaller nations, stand up against America. They're starting to see America as a joke. And it's understandable just seeing the military, the military standards of America, the way that they have women, these flames, right? These mows up in that up in the military. You have weak ass feminine men. It's a laughing stock. You know, the military of America is a laughing stock, right? Everybody that's in there is not in there to truly fight. They're in there to get the money and pay their bills, go to get a degree, and keep on going, keep it pushing. They're just using America for the benefits that it offers, but they're not willing to really go into war. These Russians over there in Russia right now, hey, they're ready for war. These Moabites over there in China, they're ready for war. Iran, they're ready for war. America ain't ready for war, man. Even though they're going to go in it, they're going to be in the war. But the people, the soldiers, their heart ain't in it, right? But let's continue on. Uh, verse uh, verse 11. It says, "Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about thither cause Salakia." Damn, what the hell's going on with this phone? Okay, let me see. It says, "Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Yahweh," because the angels are going to get in it too, right? Like I said, when Yahweh Shah, whenever this war breaks out, Yahweh Shah is going to come and crack the clouds. Of course, you got certain prophecies. I'm not saying the war is going to break out and then instantly, right, Yahweh Shah is going to come. No, things are going to escalate. And then you're going to have certain prophecies that's going to pass. Most importantly, being the MOTB. Of course, you're going to have Jacob's trouble. And in the midst of Jacob's trouble, the MOTB is going to be enforced, right? The hour of temptation. Once that's established, boom, the elect are sealed. Then here he comes, right? Yahweh Shah is going to come with the host of his mighty angels. And they're going to fight. They're going to be fighting against Esau, right? And the nations. As a matter of fact, let's get this real quick in Revelation. Because it's written in the scriptures. And people, the Christians, they don't understand this whenever they read this, but we understand this, right? This is Revelation 12 and verse 7. It says, "And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon." Who's the dragon? The Roman Empire, right? Which in this case is America, which is Rome 2.0. So it says, and also along with its affiliates, right? Um, what's it called? The EU or the NATO, right? It says, and the dragon fought against his angels, right? Uh, Pretty much the holy angels, right, are going to come. They're going to fight against Esau and the heathen. And then the heathen, of course, is going to fight against the angels. So there's going to be a war in heaven, a war in the sky, and in space, right? That's why you have Esau creating the Space Force. So they're going to be, Esau's first line of defense, but they're going to be wiped out instantly. But it says, verse 8, "And prevailed not, neither was their place found any more in heaven." Right? Again, so in the midst of World War III, when things start to get heated up, you know, Yahweh Shah is going to come break the clouds and all hell's going to break loose, right? But also, you're going to have the nuclear missiles that's going to be launched, right? But before I get that, let me finish off this Joel 3. This Joel 3, and where was I? Verse 12. It says, "Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Yahweh Shaphat. For there will I sit to judge all the nations round about. Put in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come get you down. Excuse me. For the press is full. The fats overflow, for their wickedness is great." Right? The harvest is ripe. And as we see it's perfect timing for Yahweh Shah to come and take down these heathen. Because if this place goes any more longer, man, it would not be livable. The conditions would not be livable, right? And even in the scriptures, it tells you, no flesh shall be saved. Let me get that real quick. Matthew 24 and verse 22, it says, "And except those days should be shortened, there shall no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened." You see? So Esau's a madman. I mean, I'm pretty sure Akim has seen those videos, you know. Even if you're new to this, I'm pretty sure you've seen videos of, what do they call them? The WEF forum. Videos of Klaus Schwab and what's that dude? Yuval Noah Harari, right? Talking about their ideas, right? I'm sure you heard some, Salakia, some sea theory videos talking about the elite and their wicked plans, right? Psychopathic plans to fight against the people, to destroy the people. Shit, you had the Georgia Guidestones just a couple years ago, but then they blew it up because it revealed their intentions and their ideas of how the world should be, right? One most importantly, one that people always talked about was the fact that it had one rule was to um, keep population under 500 million, worldwide population. So what are we? Where are we now? 8 billion. So their idea is to kill off more than 7 billion people in order to maintain what they call balance on the earth, right? So it's no wonder that these people are silently killing their population by the day through air pollutants, water pollutants, food pollutants, right? So these people got to go. You know, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah has to come and establish order on the earth so life can be profitable for everybody in it. Because best believe the earth is moaning. The animals, the people, all creation is at brink of extinction if this man continues on any more longer. Right? So let's continue on. This is Joel 3, verse 13. It says, "Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get you down, for the press is full, the fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. Multitudes, multitudes in the valley of decision. For the day of Yahweh is near in the valley of decision." Multitudes, multitudes, plenty of people. Because this war is gonna be massive, man. All these nations are gonna get in, right? And they're gonna be wiped out. Well, like I said, the armies, not the nations in total, because people are gonna have to live in order for them to repopulate, and also for us to have servants, because the elect are gonna have servants and slaves in the kingdom. Slaves, right? Is really the word I should be using, because that's what all these nations are going to become, slaves. But verse 14 it says, actually that was pretty much it. Yeah, that was it. Let me get from here, Jeremiah chapter 49 and verse 20, because the main antagonist in the story is Esau, and that's who primarily the Most High, Yahweh Shah is going to come and visit. Yahweh Shah, Salakia. This is Jeremiah 49 and 20. "Therefore hear the counsel of Yahweh, that he hath taken against Edom, and his purpose that he hath purposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their inhabitants desolate with them." Right? So they're going to be destroyed. And that was the verse I quoted earlier, right? "The least of the flock shall draw them out." Amalek is going to pull all these nations to come into this battle, right? And as we're seeing, they're causing quite a ruckus. Let's see. Let's go to another one. Let's get Isaiah, because I mentioned that this war is going to be fought with nuclear weapons, right? Because you got drones, you got these different new upgraded jets trying to release, or they're starting to release, right? New ICBM missiles, pretty much new technology. Esau's going to use his best technology in this fight, right? Especially especially against Yahweh Shah. They're going to whip out their secret weapons, right? Because we already kind of get an idea what this man has, right? But let's see. Let's get Isaiah chapter 9 and verse 5. It says, "For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood." Right? That's exactly what ancient battles used to be like, right? One side, a group of one army, on the other side, the opposite army, right? Swords, bow and arrows, axes, shields, armor, and what do? They charge at each other. And then you hear all the clanging and stabbing and yelling, right? That's how it used to be back then. Garments rolled in blood, right? People's limbs hanging off, blood all over each other. But it says, "But this shall be with burning and fuel of fire." So this time, hey, this is going to be missiles, fire. Fire is going to be used. Fire is going to rain from the sky, right? By means of these missiles, ICBM missiles, right? ICBM warheads, right? Ultimately, because it's all the will of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah. This is the way America is going to go out. But I'm going to close it off with this one. This is Isaiah 54 and verse 16, and it reads, "Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work, and I have created the waster to destroy," right? So ultimately, it was all the will of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah to put this in the mind of those scientists, right? What's his name? Robert Oppenheimer, right? There was a movie that came out just recently. Brothers can go watch that. It shows you how this man, how the Most High put it in these on these Edomites' thoughts to come up with this weapon, and it's only it only makes sense since Esau's blessing is a sword for the Most High to give him that type of weaponry, right? So that was pretty much it. That's all I had. I pray this lesson was edifying. I'm gonna go ahead and close it out by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth and rule well. Peace and blessings unto the hopeful elect, pushing his word throughout the four corners of the earth in truth, righteousness, and sincerity. Until the next time, I'm going to say, Shalom.